Did you know that you may never actually need to use a commercial whitening product again? It's a statement that might shock you, given the billions of dollars spent marketing strips, gels, and toothpastes that promise a dazzling white smile. But what if I told you that the path to truly white, bright, and healthy teeth has nothing to do with these products? I once had a patient, let's call him George, who came to me in his 70s. 10 years prior, his dentist had placed a crown that was matched to the yellow color of his teeth at the time. A decade later, after following a simple, natural oral care system, his teeth had become so much whiter that the old crown stood out like a sore thumb. His dentist was fascinated and asked, "George, what have you been using to whiten your teeth?" The answer was, "Nothing artificial." Today, we are going to expose the hidden dangers of the conventional whitening industry and reveal the simple, science-backed, natural method to whiten your teeth from the inside out by focusing on one thing: health. The hidden dangers of artificial whitening. Before we learn the right way, you must understand why the common ways are so wrong. The whitening industry is built on 3 pillars of damage that are rarely discussed. Danger number 1: aggressive abrasion. The first generation of whitening products were abrasive toothpastes. They work on a very simple principle. They literally scratch the stains off the surface of your teeth. For someone with heavy surface stains from smoking, this might seem effective in the short term. But for most people, it's a disaster. Your enamel, the protective outer layer of your tooth, is precious and finite. Using a highly abrasive toothpaste every day is like taking a fine grit sandpaper to a polished marble surface. It creates thousands of microscopic scratches. Not only does this permanently thin your enamel, making your teeth more sensitive and weaker over time, but these tiny scratches actually make your teeth more susceptible to future staining. It's a vicious cycle that creates a dependency on the very products that are causing the damage. Danger number 2: the acid attack. Modern whitening products, especially the popular white strips and bleaching gels, rely on a far more insidious mechanism: acid. If you were to measure the pH of a typical whitening strip, you would find it is dangerously acidic, sometimes close to the pH of battery acid. This is done for a reason. To change the color of a tooth, you first have to bypass its primary defense, the mineralized enamel. The acid in these products is designed to do exactly that. It literally melts the protective protein layer off your teeth and then begins to dissolve the minerals out of the enamel structure itself, a process called demineralization. This opens up thousands of microscopic pores or channels into the tooth. You may have seen the white spot scars left on teeth after braces are removed. That is a visible sign of demineralization. The whitening industry cleverly exploited the fact that this initial stage of demineralization actually makes the tooth appear whiter. But it is the whiteness of damage, not of health. The argument from dentists is that this damage can be reversed through remineralization. But this brings us to the third and most significant danger. Danger number 3: the peroxide invasion and internal damage. The damage from these products doesn't stop at the surface. Once the acid has opened up those channels into your tooth, the active bleaching agent, usually a form of peroxide, can travel deep inside. It passes through the enamel and reaches the next layer, the dentin. Dentin is the living tissue of your tooth, and it's naturally a yellowish color. The peroxide works by denaturing or breaking down the proteins within the dentin, which chemically alters its color. This is how you get a deeper, more artificial shade of white. But what is the long-term cost? Studies from outside the United States have suggested that this process can soften the internal structure of the tooth, making it far less resilient and more susceptible to cavities in the future. But the damage goes even deeper. The newest generation of whitening products contains chemicals that can alter the very microstructure of the enamel. They can change the watery, mineral layer between the enamel crystals, either by drying it out, which makes the tooth brittle and fragile, or by replacing it with a different liquid that reflects light in a bluer way. The natural way, the science of a truly white smile. So, if that's the wrong way, what is the right way? The secret lies in understanding what makes teeth naturally white and healthy in the first place. The first truth: enamel is clear glass. The idea that enamel is white is a marketing myth. Your enamel is actually translucent, like a collection of clear glass crystals. The color you perceive in your teeth is a combination of light reflecting off the surface of this enamel and the color of the yellowish dentin showing through from underneath. Therefore, you cannot make your teeth truly whiter by changing the color of the enamel itself. The only way to make them appear whiter and brighter is to make that glass casing thicker, stronger, smoother, and more highly mineralized so that it reflects light more brilliantly. A healthy, highly mineralized tooth sparkles. A weak, demineralized tooth looks dull and yellow. The second truth: the daily battle of your teeth. Your teeth are not static. They are in a constant, dynamic process of demineralization and remineralization all day long. When you eat or drink anything acidic or sugary, you weaken your teeth. You temporarily lose minerals. After you finish eating, your body's most miraculous healing liquid goes to work: your saliva. Healthy saliva is a supersaturated solution of calcium, phosphate, and other minerals. Its job is to flow over your teeth and naturally redeposit those lost minerals, strengthening and healing the enamel. The problem in our modern world is the habit of constant sipping and snacking. Every time you take a sip of coffee, sparkling water, or any drink other than plain water, you are restarting the acid attack and washing away your healing saliva. You are keeping your teeth in a constant state of demineralization all day long. The first and most crucial step to whiter teeth is to stop this habit. Confine your eating and drinking to meal times, and between those times, give your teeth the one thing they need to heal: uninterrupted time with your own saliva. The third truth: the power of xylitol. Now, what if you could supercharge your saliva? This is where a remarkable natural sugar called xylitol comes in. Xylitol is a 5-carbon sugar that the harmful acid-producing bacteria in your mouth, like strep mutans, cannot metabolize. When you consume xylitol, 2 amazing things happen. First, it starves the bad bacteria, causing their populations to decline. Second, and more importantly, the sweet taste of xylitol stimulates a powerful flow of saliva. But this isn't just any saliva. It's stimulated saliva, which is more alkaline and even more supersaturated with those healing minerals. Using xylitol mints or gum directly after a meal is the most powerful habit you can adopt for remineralizing your teeth. As this mineral-rich saliva flows over your teeth, it begins to fill in the microscopic pores, making the enamel surface smoother, stronger, and more reflective. Over a period of weeks and months, this process of consistent remineralization will make your teeth appear naturally brighter and whiter. A good starting dose is 1 to 2 grams of xylitol, 3 to 5 times per day, ideally after each meal or snack. The fourth truth: nurture your oral microbiome. The final step is to understand that your mouth, like your gut, is a complex ecosystem. The goal is not to kill all bacteria with harsh, alcohol-based mouthwashes, which is like setting fire to the rainforest. The goal is to nurture a healthy biofilm of good bacteria. A healthy oral microbiome creates a smooth, shiny coating on your teeth that makes them feel slippery and naturally resists stain and plaque buildup. Using xylitol, especially as the last thing at night, helps to cultivate these good bacteria. My complete mouth care system also utilizes specific rinses that are designed to modulate the biofilm in the direction of health, without destroying it. When your mouth is truly healthy, your nitric oxide levels will go up, your teeth will feel smoother, and they will naturally appear brighter and shinier. So, the best way to whiten your teeth is not to attack them with harsh chemicals, but to heal them from the inside out. It's about ending the constant cycle of demineralization from sipping and snacking, and creating an environment where your own powerful, healing saliva can do its job, It's about supercharging that process with xylitol and nurturing a healthy oral microbiome. True, lasting whiteness is not a cosmetic illusion. It is the visual evidence of strong, healthy, highly mineralized teeth, and it is achievable at any age. Remember George, the 70-year-old man from the beginning? Between the ages of 70 and 80, he miraculously transformed his teeth, not just to be healthier, but to be visibly whiter, simply by following these principles. This is a dynamic process, and you can begin today. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the truth about teeth whitening. If this video has empowered you, please hit that like button and subscribe. And now, I want to hear from you. What is the one habit, perhaps the constant sipping, that you are going to change after watching this video? Share your commitment in the comments below.